everyone, and welcome to our final day of our 13 days of Halloween. Technically, it was supposed to be yesterday, however, we skipped a day because we were out enjoying our really good friend RJ's wedding is coming up, and so we had a kind of bachelor party for him. So if you haven't checked out RJ's channel, please check out This Is How You Disney on YouTube, and he's an absolute great friend. He's a very, very positive, bubbly person, and we absolutely adore him. And he does parking lot musicals, which are the greatest things in sliced bread, I will tell you. So definitely go check out his channel and show him some love. So what we're doing today is we decided to do, for our final day of 13 days of Halloween, we decided to do 13 Halloween movies that you can watch to get you in the mood for Halloween. Now, these movies we chose are going to be family friendly. It doesn't have like curse words or anything like that. So that's the reason why a lot of movies didn't make the list, is because we wanted to keep it family friendly and something that the entire family could enjoy. So with that being said, let's go through our list and we'll tell you the movie and then why we chose those movies. So the first one we have is Halloween Town, and we chose the entire series because there's a couple of Halloween Towns and they're all really good.
Yeah. And plus Debbie Reynolds is in it. I mean,
Debbie Reynolds, like, how could you go wrong with Debbie Reynolds?
Right.
She's absolutely awesome. The movie and the story itself is really awesome, and the premise of it. The next movie we have is another movie about witches. It's Hocus Pocus.
Of course, that's just a staple
How
of Halloween.
can you not?
Yeah.
The beautiful Miss Bette Midler,
Right.
and Kathy Najimy,
And Sarah Jessica
Parker, and it is such a great movie. I absolutely love it. I don't think that I've went a Halloween without seeing that movie since it came out. So
Yeah.
that goes to show you how much I love Hocus Pocus. The next movie we have is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Ichabod Crane. The Disney version is so good. I don't remember a Halloween that I didn't watch Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, plus Bing Crosby narrated it.
Yes. How could you go wrong with Bing Crosby singing? Oh, just hearing his voice. And the whole storyline is so cute and funny. So yeah, that's definitely a must see. The next one is Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein. Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks have a ton of different movies. They actually have a whole series of Halloween type movies. So it's like Alvin and the Chipmunks meets the Wolfman, Alvin and the Chipmunks meets like all these other ones. But Alvin and the Chipmunks meets Frankenstein is the best out of all of them. And they have a song called What Would You Do If a Monster Came in Your Room? And I remember the girls like singing that song over and over and over again. It's like one of their favorites. And the other day I was watching Alvin and the Chipmunks meets the Wolfman because I liked Frankenstein so much. I thought I'll give that one a try. And Marseille walked in the room and she's like, "What are you watching?" And I'm like, "Alvin and the Chipmunks meets the Wolfman." She's like, "Frankenstein's so much better." So yeah, hands down, Frankenstein is the best one out of all of them. I could watch that one over and over and over again and not get tired of it. Wolfman wasn't all that great. I don't really like it that much, but definitely try Frankenstein. The next one we have is The Addams Family.
Yes. Both of them.
Why do you like The Addams Family movie?
It's such a good take on the original series from like the 50s and 60s, or like 60s, I think, early 70s. And plus they put such a good cast together for those movies that you cannot replicate that at all. I mean, Raul Julia, Angelica Houston, Christina Ricci, Christopher Lloyd. I mean, you can't go wrong with a cast like that doing those characters.
A star-studded cast.
Yeah, and I mean, they brought those characters to life.
Yes. The next movie is Casper. This one also has Christina Ricci in it again. She's not playing Wednesday Addams. This movie, to me, I think is a really feel-good movie. When I was a kid growing up, I used to watch the Casper cartoons, and I'd actually loved them. And so whenever they made a movie about it, I was really leery about watching the movie because I didn't want it to take away from the fact that Casper was a friendly ghost. He was trying to be the nicest person ever, and every single person would get spooked by him. So for them to actually make a movie and for them to do it justice, I appreciated it, and I absolutely love that movie. Yeah, definitely watch Casper. It's a really good movie if you haven't seen it.
I know there's 2 movies for Casper, or 3.
There is, but the original's better.
Always the original.
So the next one is an old tried and true favorite. I don't think I remember a Halloween without it.
And they show this on TV every year,
Every single Halloween. You'll never miss it. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I love the fact that he actually writes a letter to the Great Pumpkin. I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but it was the best. And I love the fact that, like...
It's not like you can spoil it. It came out in, like, the early,
I know, right?
60s,
If you haven't
70s.
seen it yet, where have you been?
Right.
Living under a rock. But I love...
Charlie Brown did get a rock.
Yeah. I know, right? He never got good candy. It was just like, I got a rock. So the next movies after this, I might get a little controversy and some pullback. However, I think people should give it an honest, open opinion and try it. So I chose Frankenweenie. The live action version is okay, but you can tell that it's like it
was a budget,
like an indie film. Yeah. So the cartoon version I think is way better. I think it portrayed the way that he wanted Frankenweenie to be in the first place. And so I appreciate it a lot more. This is the very first concept idea that he actually came up with, and whenever he went to USC, there's actually in his dorm room, he had drawings of all the characters that he had thought of in his head. From Frankenweenie to Corpse Bride to Nightmare Before Christmas and all those other ones, and they're actually drawn all over his walls. And one lucky college student actually gets to stay in that room, with the disclosure that they're not allowed to draw on any of the walls or tamper with the walls or anything like that. It's called the Tim Burton room. So I appreciate his creativity and his style. I think so many people discount him for being somebody who's creative, but honestly, I don't think anybody else could think of the kind of things that he thinks of. And I just think that the concept and the idea of having lost a loved pet, a beloved pet, everybody has lost a pet at some point in their lives, and they're always like, I want to bring my pet back. If I could only bring my pet back just for a little bit, everything would be great. And you don't ever think about like the consequences or what would happen if you did or something like that. I really think that people should give it an honest try. Yes, it's a Tim Burton film, and even if you don't like Tim Burton, I think that you guys will enjoy that film. So the next movie after that we have is The Haunted Mansion. And we chose this one obviously because we love Disney, we love The Haunted Mansion. But we also love the storyline behind the Haunted Mansion. And we love Eddie Murphy's character in the Haunted Mansion. How no matter what is happening, he's always closing. Like he is pushing his real estate business to the fullest. Like no matter what, it's the funniest thing. And I love the fact that they added some small elements from the ride into the movie. So it's definitely a really good movie. I don't think it has any curse words, but I do know that they have some suggestive little things, so it might not be for the little ones. They might get a little bit scared and stuff like that, but I think any child like over 6 or 7 could handle the movie and be perfectly fine with it. The next one, I know I'm gonna get controversy over, but I love the movie. I know it's played out. I'm wearing the ears. But Nightmare Before Christmas. And I say this with all intensive good purposes. I want people to look at it from a different perspective and with an open eye. Nightmare Before Christmas is a great story. Whether you hate Jack or whether you don't like the concept or don't understand it or whatever the case may be, everybody loves Christmas and has a love of Christmas to where they would love to be in Santa's shoes. Like, who would not want to like give to everybody if they could? And Jack is somebody who grows up in Halloween Town, like always Halloween, every day, 24/7, 365 days a year. And if you think about it, if you lived in a world where it was like Groundhog Day every single day, you relive the same thing over and over and over again, you would want something different. You would want a new life. You would want to do, something that's completely out of the norm. And for him, whenever he discovers Christmas Town, he's like, what is this awesome thing that I've never seen before? And this is crazy. And this guy gives out gifts every day, and he does this whole thing. And I want to bring it to Halloween Town. I want to show people in Halloween Town like how it would be, and I want to be Santa. I want to do that thing. And he does it to the best of his ability, how he knows. I'm sure people in Halloween Town, when they give birthday gifts and stuff, they give man-eating wreaths and they give, blood-sucking vampire dolls and, ducks with sharp teeth and those kind of things, because it's Halloween Town. Yeah. So whenever they come up with the gifts, those are the gifts that they come up with. And it's not that they're trying to be mean, it's that they're trying to give something that they're used to giving as gifts. And it's supposed to be, innocent and lighthearted, and and he realizes at the end that he did something drastically wrong. He should have never tampered with Christmas. He should have never interfered, and just maybe bring a little bit of that back to Halloween Town and just leave Christmas Town alone. But he was so excited and just, so enthusiastic about the whole thing. And I know that there's people out there that, see something or want to do something and they're so excited about it. They don't think about the consequences and they don't think, everything through. And then in the end, they find out like, that was a disaster. Like, I should have thought of that, I should have thought it through better. Yeah. So I just think that people need to look at it from that perspective and from that open eye of like, he's honestly loves Christmas and he wants to, replicate it in some type of way, and he just tries to do it in the way he knows how and completely fails. But in the end, he finds love, and I think it's a great story, and I think people should look at it from that perspective instead of just being like, oh, it's this horrible movie where they kidnap Santa Claus and they make him a mean, because in the end, Jack saves Santa. Like, he never wanted to kidnap him. The little kids did because they thought it was funny, and they were pulling pranks and stuff. Yeah. But he didn't mean for that to happen. And Oogie Boogie, he's always been a bad person. So like, it doesn't matter what, that's the reason why Halloween Town had him locked up in a dungeon, is because he's just a horrible person. So I think that people need to look at it from that perspective and look at it with an open eye. So if you've never seen it, give it a try. If you started to watch it and you hate it, give it a try and watch the whole thing, and maybe you'll have a different perspective of it. The next movie we have is Paranorman, and I like that movie. It's so cute. It's so funny. You wanted it on the list.
Yes.
Tell them why you wanted it on the list.
It's such a good story, a kid who's secluded, like the odd one in school and everything, but yet he has a special gift of seeing, people from the other side. So, it's just knowing that, being the odd one doesn't mean that you're exactly the strange one. It just means you're unique in your own way.
Yeah.
So I picked that movie because it's just, the story is good, the action that's in it's pretty good, and it's a good kids movie. It brings like that you can be accepted by all walks of life and all different I guess you can say, cliques.
Yeah, I mean, he was embarrassed about his gift. Like, he wanted to hide it. He didn't want people to know about it, because he thought people were going to judge him. He's a weird person. He's a weird kid, and those kind of things. And it just it tells you, like, embrace who you are. Embrace your differences and your unique abilities and things like that, because you'll find a group of people that accept you for who you are. It may take time, but you'll eventually find those people. And, just like Scotty, he always thought he was the oddball out. He thought he never had friends, never had anybody that, he could call a friend, because he was an oddball and he was the weird one. And now he has a ton of friends that he can call friends. And he's found his, group of Ohana. And I think that this movie just portrays, the fact that you can have, a group of friends that do accept you and like you for who you are, even though you have some differences or you're, a little weird. So the next movie we've got is Monster House. And this one might be a little scary for the younger kids. I think the older kids, 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds, those kind of kids will appreciate it a lot more and they'll like it. I know Ari loved that movie whenever she was littler. And it's just about the house across the street. Everybody's had one of those houses in the neighborhood that are so creepy. You don't want to walk near. You want to walk across the street and over so that you avoid it. And it's just one of those, weird, like, what's that house about? The house is creepy and why is it haunted, or why does it looks so weird? And you kind of find out later on why the house is so creepy. And the final movie that we put on there, and it's because it means so much to us. It's so dear to us. You have a tattoo of it.
I do.
It's Hotel Transylvania.
Yes.
So Hotel Transylvania is a great feel-good movie for the Halloween season. It's, monsters that, want to go on vacation, and Count Dracula opens up a hotel and lets all the monsters come hang out and go on vacation, and this is the place that they go to. And he has a daughter that's, preteens, and
yeah, she's only 118.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
she's in her teens. 100 teens.
Right.
And so she's going through some things, and she's liking boys now and all kinds of stuff, and he's trying to deal with all of that
because she found her zing.
Yeah, because she finally zinged. And so it's a whole story about love and about close friends and
finding your zing.
Yeah, and finding your zing. So
and that's what I have right here.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. Yeah.
So yeah, with that, this is our 13 choices for kid-friendly Halloween movies.
If it was up to me, it would be a completely different list. But
yeah, but it's not kid-friendly.
Exactly.
Yeah, your list is like totally off the wall.
It is off the wall.
But yeah, I mean, maybe we'll do one for adults, but it won't be in our 13 days of Halloween because it's our last day. But
yes.
Maybe closer to Halloween, we'll have a list of like our top Halloween movies that we like. We did talk about some of those in our live stream, not this last Thursday, but the Thursday before. We talked about a lot of the Halloween movies that for adults
yes.
that we like to watch, and you can check that one out. So I'll put a link here for that video. And I guess that's it for our 13 days of Halloween. I hope you guys enjoyed all 13 days. I hope you learned, new tips and tricks, or how to make a new dish, or just enjoyed watching the videos, because I enjoyed making them. And
yes, especially that Audrey too, that's like right over there.
Yeah, we have a cute little Audrey. We have a cute addition to our family. Yeah, so he wants to make another Audrey, so now we're gonna have, I guess, a whole garden of Audreys because he's now wanting me to
Well, I
commission
like-
one for his desk.
I like that Audrey, but I want the baby Audrey.
Yeah, he wants the one that's kissing, like,
Yeah, or he wants to suck on blood. I want that. I want that Audrey.
before she's like, feed me.
Right?
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the 13 days of Halloween. We enjoyed making them for you. And I guess that's it.
Yep. So comment below, smash that like button, and remember, people, it's a spooky day out there.
Go out and enjoy it.
We will.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.